back, guys. Conor Lynch here from Working Men's Coaching, and I'm here today with Siobhan that works with Focus Coaching, ladies only, in Focus Gym, and I obviously work here too. And I'll speak to the owner about letting us use this premises. But I have Siobhan here, and we're just going to run through what female coaching is to Siobhan and her clients and Siobhan's journey. So, Siobhan, just introduce yourself and what you do here at Focus Gym.
Right, I'm Siobhan O'Connor and I'm the female coach here at Focus Coaching. I'm here to help anybody over 35 that wants to better themselves.
And would you have done that in the past?
No, that's why I notice all these things now.
Yes.
I'd done nothing outside my family.
Yeah.
I didn't go anywhere. I just took the weans here, looked after them, left them at school, back home, there all night with them. I didn't actually do anything outside of home.
Yeah, but that was for you. That was your role. That's your mother done for you.
Yeah.
Would that be what the pattern that you followed?
That's just what I thought a mother did.
Yeah.
You were a wife and a mother and you stayed in the house and that was your job.
Yeah. And what do you see now? What would you do different?
Well, even any of the girls here, I would advise them to take a wee bit of time out for themselves, Get into the habit of doing that.
Yeah.
Get somebody to look after the children now and again and do something else for yourself because it'll benefit them, your family life. Everything runs better if you're taking time for yourself.
Yeah. So if you were to give a message to your younger self as a mother, as a wife, what would that message be? Through what you've learned, through your own training, coaching, lifestyle, and being a working mum?
Well, for me, it's not selfish to put a wee bit of time for yourself.
Yes.
Don't feel guilty doing that. Don't feel even coming down to money.
Yeah.
I would have bought my weans something before I'd have spent it on my sale. You never, and it's not a bad thing to do. You do need to look after yourself,
Yeah.
and not feel bad about doing that.
So if you were, not that you done anything wrong at the time, but to feel happier, would this all be to feel happier within your own body and within yourself?
100%, because I think for a lot of, young mothers,
Yeah.
they think unless they're putting their whole life into their children,
Yeah.
that it's a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? You can still be a really good mother and still have a life for yourself.
Yes.
Something that I didn't realise at the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So say you were talking to somebody today that is the same age as you. Like you coach a lot of girls over 35 that didn't, that did do what you done, stayed at home mother, worked all her life at the home, the wife was the mother to the kids, and is at a stage now where they're 50 plus, maybe 45, whatever that age is, and they haven't took the advice that maybe you coaches like yourself are giving out and wanting to help people like that. What would you say to them girls in order to, is it too late?
No, it's never too late for anybody. I get a lot of girls saying, I'm too old, I'm too unfit. I'd never be fit to do that. What I've learned is you can do 100 times more than you thought you could ever do.
Yes.
Just a wee bit of help, somebody encouraging you to do it.
Yeah, so people like yourself, you started what, 8 years ago? Mm-hmm. So the likes of, if you weren't in a place, what made you start? What was that place? What did you feel before you started? What made you get started?
For me, I was really unhappy.
Yeah. With what in particular?
Just everything, life in general. I really had put on weight. My children had grew up. I was just totally lost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'd put all my life into my family.
Yeah.
So then when they didn't need me anymore,
Yeah.
I had nothing.
That was a real reality check.
Yeah. I didn't know where to go or what to do, and I ended up getting quite depressed. You know what I mean? That's why I really started here.
Yeah. So you spent most of 25 years looking after your family and your kids and growing a business alongside of that, being the support network for everybody, and being the mother, being there for everybody for whenever they come home for the dinner, whenever they get up in the morning, the lunches are ready. You know what I mean? All that stuff, the washing's done. Like that's a job in its own.
Yeah.
That maybe your physical and mental health over 20 years wasn't looked at because you had a purpose. That was your purpose. And then whenever the kids grew up, that purpose sort of was like, where's Siobhan? What about Siobhan?
I think I had been a wee bit depressed anyway.
Yeah.
And then when they left, they I think like any mother, you cover up things for the sake of the weans. You keep going on.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then when I found myself on my own and nobody needed me, that's when it sort of hit me, you know.
Yes.
It got worse, so then that's why I started here.
So what was the signal what was the first signal that you got, like, I need to fix something,
Well, I took sick one Christmas.
Yeah.
Really sick. And it took me a long time to recover again, you know.
Yeah.
And I knew after that, I never want to feel like that again.
Yes.
So, for me, this place was opening up.
Yes.
And I thought, right, because I had went to different slimming clubs, right?
Yeah.
And always lost a wee bit of weight, which was fine, but then you stop going.
Mm-hmm.
Just ate my way back up again. The weight always went back on.
Yeah.
And that was all partied, you know, feeling bad about yourself. Like, weight was the issue, that part of it. So when you were opening here, I thought, right, it was just that stage I had got that low.
Yeah.
I didn't want to feel like that again.
So you had to go to that deep under the pain before you had to really take massive action. And that pain, was that painful and that dominant for you? You didn't want to feel it again?
No, that's what I says.
So at that moment, you made that decision, if I'm doing this, I'm never coming back here.
I was at the stage, right, I couldn't, you know, there was only one way to go, that was up.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't go down anymore, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mentally,
Yeah.
you couldn't take it.
No.
Yeah.
So you either one or two things, and I wanted to get better.
Yes.
And I knew I just had to start something. I had to build somewhere, and this just turned up, so it was the best. You know, it just made the call and come here, and that's how it started.
So just for anybody that doesn't know you, I know we do a lot of promotion through the gym and promoting and all, but you've been coaching now and training 8 years in a gym. Were you ever in a gym, pre-focus gym?
Never.
Never done any personal training?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
What was your go-to to drop weight or lose weight at that time? Diet, just...
Few slimming clubs.
Yeah.
Local slimming clubs I tried, you know.
Yeah.
Tried myself. I'd walked 2 months one summer every day, never missed, and I never lost an ounce.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is girls out there that you can help.
I see girls doing the same thing
That you done.
that I was doing. I can see them walking and walking and walking, but they don't. You know, I wish I could explain to people. I think a lot of people think if you're working somewhere, you're looking just people in.
Yeah.
But there's a whole lot more to it than that. You know, it's not about money, because you couldn't pay for what I got out of this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you couldn't. Yeah, money. You can't put a price on it.
No.
You can't put a price on happiness.
No.
And on that, you were saying...
It's not happiness. It's about feeling... Just about feeling good about yourself, you know. Feeling you're worth something.
Yeah.
For me, that's what it was, you know.
Yeah. And as you said, you see girls doing what you done. And rebounding, which is a real thing. Like
But it's so hard. You don't... you don't realise at the time you start, right, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You know, you go maybe a good month, 2 months sometimes, and then you get down a bit and you think, that's the job done.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't work like that. You have to keep, I've found that you have to keep going. Like, it is a life change, you know, a lifestyle change. It definitely is. You have to realise that unless you continue with making this your normal routine, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that takes time.
You have to learn that, because you can't do something 2 months
Yeah.
and just go back to the way you were before, because
Yeah.
you go back there and you add more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't do the walking for 2 months, change the habits and nutrition for 2 weeks. The habits and nutrition stay the same and nothing happens. For you, you were that deep in the pain that you wanted to know how to change. You were willing to surrender to the program. You're willing to surrender to learning a new way of getting the results. So it didn't matter what it was, and it's not. Is it difficult? Did you find it difficult?
I didn't find it difficult here,
Yeah.
because, you know, there was such a good community here as well.
Yeah.
It was fun. I loved coming.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I still love coming. I'm still here. But doing it on your own
Yeah.
is a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
You lost interest, because even coming here, there are days you can't be bothered. Do you know what I mean? But you know, you learn that is a process. You know, you have to be consistent with it. Because as well as that, you begin to love it. Do you know what I mean?
You fall in love with yourself again.
Yeah.
I think that's what you done. And fall in love with yourself keeps you motivated to keep going.
Yeah.
And keeps you consistent, because you fell out of love with yourself,
Yeah.
and then that wasn't a nice place to be. And as you said there, you see girls going through the same cycle as you did. So if they're watching this now, what advice would you give to them that are like, I could never do that, I'm too old, or should the diet, like you hear this all the time, should the diet's so strict, but like they're telling you anyway, they're not eating 12 hours a day and they only eat 1 meal a day, and they're telling you that they're eating 1,200. They tell you all this anyway, like all the clients, the people coming to consultations. So what would you tell them? What words of inspiration or advice would you give a mother that their kids have grew up, moved on, they're maybe moved to a different country, out working like your own, and like it's time for you now, it's your time to shine. You have the rest of your life to live.
I would tell anybody, even they're not thinking about it, if they're watching this,
Yeah.
to get started doing something. You know, a lot of time I hear people saying, is everybody always skinny there? You know, it's not about that. How fat is people?
Yeah.
Everybody starts at the same level. You know, your own ability, and you work your way up. You know, it's just stepping stones. Some people are fatter than other people, but my advice is nobody's unfit.
Yeah.
You know, you start off where you are and you move up.
Yeah.
There's no pressure to be doing anything more than you're able to do. So my advice would be, get started in something for your own sake, for your own.
Like, have a goal.
Have a goal, something to work for.
Have a goal and say, right, how are you going to achieve that goal and work your way back? Like, how, if you could, you never imagined you'd get the results you actually did get.
No. But the funny thing about it is, when I started,
Yes.
I just started because I wanted to lose weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never imagined I'd end up working here. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? I never imagined I'd get to where I did get.
Yep.
I'd have been happy with a stone off.
Yeah.
But, you know, you've learned me
We
not
weren't going to
give-
stop there.
Not to give up on myself.
Yeah.
You know, people don't understand you're getting more than a workout here.
Mm-hmm.
There's people here that want you to succeed, you know, to get better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not just about coming and doing your training session, get out, you know, get back out again. I'm there for anybody that needs a chat. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Whenever I started coaching It's like anything you do, whatever you're doing, you do it to your full capability. So whatever you needed and any other client needs, I give them advice. That advice then is relayed and how it's took on. Like I can give you all advice and I'd have stepping stones, and you're hence giving your clients advice. It's up for them to take it on board and be like, right, this is what I want. But you get very clear with me at the start and with every client when we talk to you, like, what is the result? What is the goal? And in that, we've achieved what? What all have you achieved? Just rhyme off some of the stuff at the top of your head that you done during the process that you think you never would have done without the community, the people, the accountability, and the action taken.
My God, Connor.
Slide forward a wee bit, just.
I don't know where to start. Like, how many mountains have we not done? We've done
Yeah.
Errigal, Slieve Donard,
Yeah.
Eagles Rock. Where else did we go?
What other action days have you done?
The water park.
Yeah. So what? Explain that experience for me alone. Like again, guys watching, like coaching. Like Siobhan says, whenever you start with Focus Gym or Working Men's Fitness, it's more, my goal is to get you at a peak performance level, and you take action in and outside of work, in your family, in your relationships. Everything you do is you get energy from it. You feel endorsed on it. You feel embraced on it, because if you're going to pay for coaching, number one, you have to become, and you have to be willing to take on the program, and you like everybody does. But like, explain the experience you had with like the water park experience that you said, and say like the first time you done breath work or ice baths.
The water park.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, I'm sort of feared of water.
So what was the build up to that? The thought process to that?
Well, I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
No, I thought, my God, I'm not going to that. But of course,
You went?
I went. Everybody was going,
Yeah.
and it was a good day out. I wasn't overly stuck on it, but I went. I did climb up that big slide.
Yeah.
Took about 10 minutes to get me to go down it, but
You went down it too?
I went down it. So I was proud of that. You know, that was a big thing for me. What else? Colour run. We done the colour run as
That's
well.
right.
5K.
Yeah.
I'd never run in my life.
Yeah.
You know, I played camogie, but I'd never done a run.
Yeah.
So that was another thing. Then, you know, the like of the breath work.
Mm-hmm.
Never, you wouldn't have got me in a cold shower, never mind an ice bath. But, you know, just, as when you come here, you want to be part of everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's nobody saying you wouldn't be fit to do that. You're
Yeah.
encouraged to do everything. Everybody's encouraged to try it. And I think that's what I'm most proud of. I've tried everything.
Yeah.
There isn't anything that we have done that I haven't.
Yeah.
Mightn't have been very good at it, but I've done it anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
But,
Like the 100 hours in the treadmill, the 24-hour tire flip, the last charity event we done, the 24-hour deadlift, the mountain hikes, like we done 7 peaks in one day.
I forgot it.
Yeah, like there's a lot of different events. I even forget, like breath work. We've been doing breath work every week, at least twice a week, on the beach and Focus Gym and our own breath work. We've done breath work outside, we've done ice baths, saunas, hot and cold, and you do it every week.
Mm-hmm.
Every week you do hot and cold every Tuesday night. And like from going from a lifestyle of basically you were lost, and like we all get lost sometimes, and that's a good place to be, because it only means, as you said, you can go up. But you really wanted to go up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you really found the purpose. And how does it make you feel whenever a client contacts you and wants to get change, and you can see you want to help them? You know in your heart that you can help them. Because, guys, if you train with Siobhan, Siobhan's very heartfelt, very emotional, but it's a good emotion. It's like very like me. You want to help the client more than actually the client probably wants to get the result, because you know you can.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel whenever a client opens up to you and wants to get the results, wants it so bad, but then they shut down.
It's a wee bit, I don't know, frustrating or disappointing, because you know in your heart that next month they're going to regret stopping,
Yeah.
or maybe 3-4 months down the line, and they're going to feel worse than they were at the start when they come to me. So I do try and explain to people, you have to keep going. You can't do a month of this and think that's it. You know, everybody gets fed up sometimes. You know, it's hard. You maybe want to go, you eat all the bad stuff, you want, you know, but don't give up. Keep coming, you know. For me, that's the key to everything. No matter how you do get bad times, you know, you get a bad run. Sometimes everything's great, other times you find it difficult. But one thing I've learned, I'm never giving up. You can't give up, because you're only giving up on yourself.
100%. And you'll still be here and I'll still be here.
Yeah.
So like the coaches will still be here. The education will still be here. The education is here.
Yeah.
So here's the thing too. So this one block they'll have is like their self-belief. And that's up to me and you to install self-belief. And you've installed self-belief in me, and I've installed it in you through coaching with each other for years now. Yeah. But there's other things that that you've watched me do, like 40-minute ice baths, that inspires you to do, that you've done, maybe the hill climbs that you're inspiring other girls to do. And I believe that's what you're doing. You're doing these things not just to benefit Siobhan, but to enhance other girls, to say, look, I'm doing this for me, but if I can do it, Yes,
because people don't, you know, only, I keep saying you make me do them, but you sort of just, no, you can do that.
Yeah.
Whereas I would have thought, you know, even climbing the mountain.
Yeah.
I would have said, no, I can't do that. But you sort of
has done before.
Had faith in me. Do you know what I mean? That I can do a lot more, and I've found out I can do a lot more than what, you know, your own self-beliefs.
You can do more than you ever imagined.
Yeah.
And you have done more than you ever believed you could do.
Yeah.
And like, we haven't even touched the surface of what we've done, like in the gym, lifting weights, the amount of training sessions that we've put on. Yeah. But here's the deal. You're coaching 8 years. Siobhan, have you had any carbs in 8 years? Like, I don't allow you any carbs in 8 years. Like, you're not allowed to eat any carbs. You're not allowed to drink alcohol. You're not allowed to have fun. You're not allowed to dress up and go out the weekends. Like, you're not allowed to do that, aren't you? Know? You're not allowed
I missed that.
But like, that's what everybody thinks. Like, oh, you're not allowed to do any of that. So whenever you start with us, like, guys, you have to be able to, like, this is like a military. You're not allowed out of the house. You have to stay in the house. You have to go to the gym. And whenever you go back to the house, you eat chicken, broccoli and rice, and then you come out again to the gym. All right?
Oh, I was late.
No, I mean, that's what they think we're doing. And like, oh, we're all skinny and thin and bodybuilders. Guys, trust me, now we go and eat pizzas and pancakes and gin, right or wrong.
That's it.
And whenever you need a night out, I'm like, Siobhan's going to a night out. I'm like, just why did you ask me to go? You know, like, we've been to a party recently, and like, it was like, whatever you want to eat and drink, and like, what, were we happy? Were you happy?
Oh, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and them years of coaching and training, you've more outfits now that you're happy. And like, you go and shopping every Friday with your mother. Like, what way does that make you feel living that lifestyle now with the results you've worked for, and people still think you eat the chicken, broccoli and rice, and that's it? You're not allowed out of the house.
Yeah. People don't understand, you know, that was the best part of it for me.
Yeah.
You see, when I dropped the weight, I had got out of the habit of getting dressed up, going out, because it just didn't feel good. But I've never missed a Friday.
Yeah.
And I usually still, you know, I still would treat myself on a Friday. Maybe on a pre-mark, but it's still a wee treat. Yeah,
so what Siobhan means is she goes Friday shopping.
Yeah.
Andy Day, which is days only on the road from us if you're watching this. And you go and treat yourself on a Friday because of the work you've put on.
Yeah, it was like a reward for me.
100%.
And it just, you know, I thought I've worked hard, and for me, that replaced all the money I was spending on crap.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I probably would have ate that amount of money that I'm spending on clothes. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
You know, on all rubbish, or
snacks.
Going to chippies or
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff.
And you still go to Chippy?
I do go to chippy now and again.
Yeah.
I do.
Like, you know, like, not often, but yes, I would definitely go to, like, you've not been denied any foods.
No, not if I wanted them. You can have them. That's
Yeah.
the way it is.
But
Do you
it's
know
up
what I
to
mean?
you to be self-aware of your behaviours and habits. And is this what I want for the results I want to keep? You know, do I want to eat takeaway 4 nights a week?
Yeah.
Well, yes. If the answer is yes, well, you're not going to have this result. If the answer is no, I can suffer, or I can, no, you can still eat. So where's that at for you now? How does that make you feel now that you've got into a lifestyle that you feel good? And like, if you were asked to go to a wedding in 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, knowing that you can go and feel the full potential of Siobhan and love herself and look in the mirror and feel herself and feel loved and be there beside Martin or the family and a family photograph, how does that make you feel now?
Oh, that's life changing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nearly the thought of a wedding.
Yes.
I had a dread on my, I'm going to have to get something to wear to that.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you put on, this sounds awful, but for a lot of people, this is the way it is. They hate going places because they don't feel good.
So you would have avoided events.
I would have went, but if I could have got out of them, I would have got out of them.
So how would that make you feel like you're living your life? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. You're not living. Do you know what I mean?
You're avoidance.
You're avoiding it.
Mm-hmm. So that's not a nice place to be.
No.
So you can hear I can hear in you, and I've been chatting to you that many times in conversations, that really is where your passion's driven from, to help other people.
It is, because I wouldn't want to be back there.
Yes.
So anybody that is there and looks for help,
Mm-hmm.
I'd go out of my way to try and help them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's getting across that you have to commit yourself to wanting to get out of that routine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you want out of it more, like, is it getting out of jail?
Yeah.
Imagine you were in that jail now. Like, you could say to your older self, you got out of jail.
Yeah.
Imagine you didn't take up that card and you were back in again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
In life, like, you've surrendered, you've just give up on yourself.
I've realised you have to work and you have to keep working and you have to keep trying to get better rather than staying the same. Do you know what I mean?
Here's a good question. Is it harder now to keep going, or back then whenever you give up?
Is it harder now to keep going?
To do what you're doing, live the life you're living now, or would you go back to the way it was before?
Oh no, I'm staying here. I'm going forward.
So if you had that option now, would you go back to the way it was,
No,
or would you keep doing the
no,
work?
I'm
Do you know what I
I'm
mean?
working like.
Yeah. You've committed to yourself, and it's the life you want. Yeah. Yeah. We have to really recognize for what you have to recognize yourself for what you done, and like, the amount of clients. Let's get into the client conversation. The amount of clients you've helped through this past, is it 2 years now? We're
2
coaching.
years.
Coaching now 2 years. The amount of clients you have helped, and seminars and 90-day plans and talk to and conversations. How does it make you feel whenever a client drops 10, 15, 20 pound, they feel confident, they feel good within themselves, they're turning up to say, how does that make you feel about yourself and them?
I'd just be so proud that I've helped somebody because there's no better feeling than feeling good about yourself.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've worked to get there.
Yeah.
And then the fact that I have helped them people get there, I do know how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
So that does me the world of good that I've been even part of that. Do you know what I mean?
100%. And so say you had 10 new clients tomorrow, and what would you say? What would you like? First of all, they're going to have blocks. So anybody wants to change their life, they have to change their habits, behaviors, and it's going to take time. What would you say to them for the first? What would be your first piece of advice to give girls in that environment over 30, mothers, even single parents, whatever that is? Like, how do I get started, Siobhan? What do I need to do?
You don't need to do anything. You just need to turn up.
Yeah.
You need to turn up, and you need to make a commitment to yourself, and you need to know that this is going to work. All it takes is a wee bit of commitment, don't give up. Do you know what I mean? 3 or 4 weeks down the line, you're thinking, I haven't lost that much. But look, you're lifting heavier than you were last week. You're feeling fitter than you were last week. You may be sleeping better than you were last week. If you keep thinking ahead what next month's going to look like, the weight does come, everything comes together.
Yeah.
My advice is just, you can't give up on yourself.
But you're actually not just giving up on yourself, you're giving up on everything.
Well, there's nothing going to get better if you...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're going to stay where you are.
Yeah, if your physical self doesn't change, you don't start loving yourself again, you feel lost, you feel uncomfortable, and you go back into a pattern that you don't want to be in.
Yeah, you're not in a happy place.
Yeah.
That's why you sort of want to start in the beginning.
Yeah. I'm sort of lost for questions now. Do you want to ask me anything? Let's just have a bit of fun now. It's like, what is it next for Siobhan? What's next for Siobhan?
No, I want to ask you, what did you think the first day I started here?
Oh,
Where did you think I was going?
Well, I'm going to be honest. Whenever I start anybody, like, I've learnt this through the years, but I did start from the start because I came from a background of starting construction sites and starting on jobs and employing people and starting projects from the start, and seeing something, a result. So whenever you started here, I had a system. Do you know what I mean? I would never have went into something without a system and a process. So I sat you and another client down. The first 2 clients ever joined Focus Gym, I sat just down and went through a whole Q&A. It was a questionnaire. And I went through the whole questionnaire. So that gave me something to go off. So I knew if I had that questionnaire, it's like an induction starting on a building site. If I've got all the boxes ticked and you understand the nutrition, and I had to educate you because I've been through the process, the same process as you wanted to go through. I've been through it, and I've done multiple transformations before that and rebounded and messed about in my previous life or my pre-coaching life. And then I was like, right, so if these clients that come to me need a process. So I thought the first day I opened Focus Gym, I would have 100 clients, which I had 2. I was like, that's okay. I have 2. I don't have none. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that went down to 1, which was you.
Yeah.
And then I built on that. And I haven't been back to 1 since, to be honest. Yeah. So I'm in the plus. But for me, what I thought was, I know I can help. I know if I have a system and a procedure in place that I can build on this. Now, to be honest, you were the first client and you have been the first client, and still, like, we've never missed a week, a session, a month. There was no break in the system. No. It's like a train, like it was going the whole time. But through your coaching, your transformation, I learned a lot. And where you were, and I knew we were going to be in 6 months. After the 6 month mark, I was like, what the hell do you know? I was like asking myself questions because I never took myself past the 6 month mark with a coach. So I was like, so what do I do now? And I was like, I had a business coach and I went like maintenance phase. So it was just like pure maintenance. And with that maintenance, we set goals. Yeah. We set monthly goals. We done weekly check-ins. And as long as you kept progressing, I knew I was doing a good job. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it wasn't that I was putting, like, I want to get this girl an X. I had no expectation of where you were going. All I had was an expectation of myself giving you the right advice to get the results you wanted. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'm fucking glad it is where it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot, not even photos, like we haven't mentioned, you've done was it 4 photo shoots? Three or 4?
3, is it?
3 photo shoots. How many pounds or kilos or stones of weight have we lost?
That'd be 6.5.
6.5 stone. 3 photo shoots. It's a fucking uncountable amount of walks and hikes and mountains. I'd say, so there's 52 weeks in the year. 52 with 3's what? 150 sessions a year be 8 years is what? 150 be 8. Say 800 and, oh fuck. That's a lot of training sessions, never mind boot camps. You know what I mean? Like, so what? 1,000 training sessions. Like personal training sessions that I have coached you personally 1-to-1 or in a small group. Like hundreds of training sessions later and hundreds of clients through the gym.
Yeah.
Like everybody that joined Focus Gym knows you and me.
Yeah.
Everybody that's a member on here is like they know, oh, spoke to Siobhan or spoke to Connor or, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like my expectation was blowing up. So like if I get another 10 of them clients, if you're out there and you're a client and you're a fucking, like that's why I was in the same place as you.
Yeah.
I was in that bad a place. I'm never giving up. I am never giving up this stuff. Because here's the way it is for me. If something's going wrong in your life, any way it is, no matter if it's financially, weight, emotionally, relationships, you maybe just hate where you're at.
Yeah.
You know, when you're depressed, if you keep your physical standards right, everything else will pull through.
Yeah.
Like the if you're in a bad place, I think the first thing you have to do is get up and go to the fucking gym.
Go harder.
Not fucking go to work. Like fucking quit your work. I would actually advise myself to quit my job and go to the gym.
Yeah.
Because you will find yourself in that fucking gym and you will go that hard. You'll reconnect yourself because you're clearing, it's like a cleanse.
You can't explain it. You can't explain it.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how bad you're feeling, when you come do a workout,
Work hard on yourself.
you feel better.
Yeah.
It is funny.
And you and me were very similar at the beginning of our fitness journeys. Now, I've been in the training all my life, different things, but the actual gym, way I started the gym, I was a minus 10 out of 10. You were in the same place
Yeah.
to where you are now.
Yeah.
What would you rate yourself now out of 10? Be nice.
At the minute, I would say 8.
Yeah, that's a good place. I would give you a 9.2. So what, like, to be honest, because you can't buy what you done. No money, no conversations can give you what you done.
It sounds stupid, but it has been life changing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, it's changed my life
Yeah.
in every way.
That doesn't sound stupid at all. That sounds inspiring. Change that again. Say it again and we say, would you go, no, you're right, but you know, it is.
I just wish I could, I hope anybody watching this does understand a wee bit better.
Yeah, they will.
You know, you think you can't do a lot of things, but there are a lot of things you can do to help yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To change things.
Have anything else to talk about? We could pretend we're not on the camera and we'll just talk for 5 minutes. That'll probably be the best conversation. See, whenever you come off these things, you start talking, it goes like really cool. So, yeah. Again, I want to thank Siobhan on the Working Men's podcast. And Siobhan is a coach within Focus Gym. And Siobhan coaches females only become and refine and regenerate the energy within themselves to become whatever it is they want to become.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean they have to lose any weight. That just means they have to be re-energized, feel good, and let's chase them dreams.
You know, a while important thing that you're not saying there. While a lot of people don't realise how much more they can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it does take somewhere that gets to bring that out of you.
Yeah. Where else is it going to go?
You know, you limit yourself, but you think you can't do things.
You need to surround yourself with people that are pushing forward.
Yeah.
And I believe in here, fuck, we have got the best people. Like, I've been in a lot of gyms, but like really driven to help each other.
Yeah.
And even if somebody new comes into the group, it's like,
everybody's,
hello.
you know, it's really friendly.
Yeah.
You know, I've never known anybody to come here that didn't feel at home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's your gym. If you're paying for coaching here, it's your place.
Yeah.
And we like that vibe. Like, you've been treated like it's yours since the day you come on. Yeah. And everybody else will forever, because this place, we are going nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, we might go up a odd mountain.
Well, I'm 51, I don't know.
No. As long as there isn't a COVID, another COVID doesn't, that would be grand. Thank you for coming on, Siobhan. And like, you can't, I can't give you enough praise. Like, the work you're doing and the work you've done for yourself is unbelievable. And yeah, guys, you can do it. Like, it's not a question. You have to get out there and you have to chase them dreams and get after it. Like Siobhan, I'm glad Siobhan did take that leap of faith, because then it gave me some belief system in myself that I can.
Well, I need to thank you too.
Yeah, well,
because
thank you,
I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I get it. And guys, let's go. Let's chase them dreams. And if you want to contact Siobhan, just message her on any social media or myself, and we will get back to you. Thanks for watching.